Hey everybody on YouTube, this is Rick Thomas from Obsolete Video Services. Good afternoon. Well, Happy New Year coming up in the next few hours. We'll actually be able to see a New Year ringing in. We are working on this M2 video deck and a lot of progress. We're actually getting color out of this, good color playback. The color is amazing. We have on-screen time code display, which is now working. A power supply is very important on this particular deck. It runs the voltages for each one of these cards. And if the voltages are not correct, the card is going to act funky or not work at all. I think that was one of the biggest problems with this M2 deck when they were trying to service it. But now we're getting color playback is looking good. We're getting on-screen display for time code. The audio's working. The meters are all working. We're getting time code. This is just amazing. It's come a long way. This deck was in some really bad shape, but we're actually starting to get some video coming out of this thing. So it does play. That's fantastic news. This is the first time you've seen this thing actually playing. So this deck does play. It's got on-screen time code. The voltages are correct in the power supply, supplying every card. So I think that was a very big issue with this deck. Why a lot of systems were shutting down or failing. I have not tried to record with this deck yet, but that's going to be a test we're going to be doing soon. The preliminaries are we got a good playing deck. It does play. This is a very bad tape. It's glitchy and dirty and jumping all over the place. It's got a lot of problems and it's clogging the head. But anyways, I can tell that this is a good playing deck, so it will play properly. We did get it to load in both cassettes, small and large, so that's good. So the displays, the meters, everything is working. Time code's working on this thing. This is looking really good, guys. It looks like we're really gonna resurrect this deck from the dead. This is looking really good. But anyways, I just wanted to point out that we got this thing working, and it looks like it's gonna work out once I get everything all adjusted. But we're starting to get color playback on this thing now, which is looking really good. Color playback looks great on this deck. Time code's looking good. This tape is just a little screwed up, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. But it looks like we're actually going to be able to restore this deck to full operation. It's looking really good. So, small tape, large tape shell, small tape shell, both types of tapes fit in this deck and work. We're getting time code display, no error codes, no power voltage codes, nothing. Audio's playing good. Power supply is completely rebuilt. Mechanism is completely rebuilt. Loading carriage is completely rebuilt. Now we're down to the functionality of it. Can we get this thing to record proper video levels? Was that one of the big problems that was caused by the power supply? Or is the video input of one of the cards bad due to damage of bad voltages? Who knows? It could be almost anything. So we got to look into the voltages on these cards. Hopefully, cross your fingers, the power supply was the main issue feeding the card, why they were not able to get proper video input signals, which is my assumption. It's my best guess why they had a big video input problem, and they just could not get video voltages probably to the card, and it wasn't producing good video on the input. So we're going to be checking the record on this thing real soon. But the power supply fixed an awful lot of issues, guys. We now got the unit actually playing. We got video coming out of it. Functionality of the front panel. Everything on the front panel is now working. We actually got time code. We got no power outage error codes whatsoever. All the meters are working. This thing was producing voltage craziness like you wouldn't believe when I tried to power this thing up. It was a disaster. So we actually got this thing working pretty good now. It seems like we're going to get it working good. We come a long way on this thing. This thing had a lot of problems, guys. It really did. But it's got great color playback, so that means the color board is getting proper voltages and there's no bad caps or anything like that. So that's a good sign. So it looks like we got good color coming out of it. Looks like the cards are in good shape, I hope. The power supply was a huge issue with this deck. I had to rebuild the power supply completely. All new caps, a rectifier and some other things, and a diode and some other stuff I had to change out on it. But this has all new caps, and it was a lot of caps that had to be changed, guys. The capacitors were all leaky on this thing. They were leaking like a sieve, dripping out of the bottom of this power supply. So I had to rebuild the power supply after I took it out. So now we got the power supply completely restored. We got power up online. It looks like it's going to function everything properly now. This is a real huge plus. Plus, we got the video deck playing both size cassettes, small and large, and time code and no errors. I mean, this thing it's powering up and playing, and it's not coming up error codes, nothing. It's actually working pretty good now. So cross your fingers, we'll get this deck completely restored. We've come a long way. Hope you guys enjoyed this video.